The silent strikes, 800 words, third person, simple English, voiceover friendly. The night sky over Earth was calm, stars glittering like diamonds across the endless black. People looked up with pride, for they believed they had survived the worst of times. Wars between nations were over, hunger was fading, and technology had pushed humanity into a golden age. At the center of it all was Earth's leader, a man respected not only for his wisdom, but also for his ability to unite humanity under one flag. To many, he was not just a leader, he was a symbol of hope. That hope ended in silence. It began without warning. There were no sirens, no alarms, no early signals from satellites. A black shadow moved through space faster than light, cloaked in technology humanity had never seen before. It slipped past Earth's defenses like a knife sliding through water. In the capital city, millions gathered to hear the leader speak. His voice was calm and full of strength as he promised peace with the galaxy. But above, high in the cold sky, death was already falling. The strike was silent. No explosion, no thunder, only a flash too bright to understand. The balcony where Earth's leader stood turned to ash in the blink of an eye. People screamed, the crowd fell into chaos, and the voice of humanity's guide was gone forever. Cameras captured only smoke and broken stone. The world watched in horror as the broadcast cut to static. At first, confusion spread. Was it an accident, a failure of technology, or a natural disaster? Governments searched for answers. Scientists replayed the signals, but what they found chilled them. The attack did not come from Earth. It came from the stars. The evidence was clear. A weapon of alien design had been used. The blast pattern, the energy signature, and the way it slipped past defenses could not belong to humans. Within hours, whispers filled the world. Someone out there beyond the stars had killed Earth's leader. Shock turned into grief. Families wept, soldiers lowered their flags. Children cried as they saw their parents trembling. For years, humanity had hoped for peace. They had believed the galaxy could be a place of friendship. Now that belief cracked like fragile glass. In the hidden rooms of power, leaders gathered. Their faces were pale, their voices low. If the galaxy has done this, one of them whispered, then it is war. But another said, we are not ready. We are not strong enough. Silence followed. Until a general spoke, maybe not yet. But humanity does not forgive. On the streets, grief transformed into anger. Crowds marched with candles, chanting the name of their lost leader. In every corner of the planet, the same words were spoken. They killed him. In every home, the same question was asked. Why far away in the cold black of space? Alien fleets moved slowly. Their captains sent quiet messages. Some celebrated, believing humanity would finally be broken without its leader. Others worried, for they had seen humans rise from worse wounds before. One alien commander whispered to his second, we have made a mistake. We did not kill a man. We may have awakened a storm on Earth. A boy sat with his father, eyes red from crying. Will they take us too? The boy asked. The father looked at the sky and clenched his fists. No, son. They have taken enough. That moment was repeated 1,000,000 times across the world. People realized the truth. Humanity was not afraid. Humanity was angry. The news spread faster than light. Entire nations declared mourning, but also unity. No more division. No more rivalry. Humanity spoke with one voice. It was not the voice of sorrow. It was the voice of wrath waiting to rise in the ruins of the capital. Smoke curled into the sky. Soldiers stood guard, their eyes hard and their hearts burning. Reporters whispered words into their microphones. This is not the end of humanity's leader. This is the beginning of something far greater. As night returned, Earth did not sleep. In labs, scientists worked without pause. In hangars, engineers polished old warships. In training camps, soldiers raised their weapons high. Humanity had lost its leader, but in his death he had given them a gift. He had united their rage, and in the silence of space, where the shadow had come and gone, a signal drifted. It was faint, almost hidden, but it carried a truth that could not be denied. The galaxy had struck first. They thought Earth would fall quietly. But humanity was not known for silence. Humanity was known for wrath. The silent strike had taken a leader, but it had also created something the galaxy had never feared before. A united humanity waiting to unleash its fury. The hidden enemy. The world was still in mourning. Black banners waved above cities. Candles burned in the streets. and the name of Earth's fallen leader echoed in every home. Yet behind the sorrow, questions grew like a storm. Who had struck? Who had killed the one man who carried humanity's hope? Governments searched the skies, satellites traced every signal, and spies whispered of alien movements in the dark. Reports came back strange and troubling. Fleets were shifting far beyond human space. Outposts along the edge of the galaxy reported unidentified ships moving too quickly, too quietly. The Galactic Council, a union of the oldest alien empires, sent their message to Earth. Their faces appeared on every screen. Cold and composed, they spoke words of sympathy. They said they regretted the loss of Earth's leader. They said the galaxy stood in peace. But their voices carried no warmth. Their eyes avoided the camera, and their words felt hollow. Some humans believed them, desperate to cling to the dream of peace. But many saw the truth the Council had known. The Council had watched. Perhaps they had even ordered the strike in secret chambers. Human generals slammed their fists on tables. "They are lying," one growled. This was no accident, this was a message. A warning that Earth must bow or be broken. The hidden enemy had revealed nothing, but silence itself was the greatest clue. For the galaxy's empires, silence was guilt. In dark space far from Earth, transmissions flickered. Human code breakers caught fragments of alien words. They spoke of the strike. They spoke of Earth's leader. They spoke of fear. And in the middle of those whispers, one phrase appeared again and again. "The humans will not forgive." On alien worlds, fear spread like a plague. Some rulers cheered, believing humanity would break without a leader. Yet others trembled, remembering human wars of the past. "They are dangerous when divided," an alien advisor said to his king. "But united, they are unstoppable." Back on Earth, grief hardened into something sharper. Cities rebuilt the shattered balcony where their leader had fallen, not as a place of sorrow, but as a monument on its ruins. A single phrase was carved into stone. "We remember, we rise at the same time." Secret meetings unfolded deep beneath mountains and oceans. Generals, admirals, and scientists gathered. They did not argue, they did not hesitate. They spoke with one voice. "The galaxy has chosen to test us. We will answer." Ships that had once been museums were dragged from their pedestals. Engineers whispered to them like surgeons reviving giants. New fleets were drawn in secret blueprints. Weapons hidden in vaults were polished and armed. Humanity was preparing not for defense but for vengeance. But the greatest weapon was not in steel or fire. It was in the hearts of the people. Every man, every woman, every child now carried the same fury. They no longer saw themselves as divided by nations. They were one people under one wound, and that wound demanded justice. Yet the enemy was still unseen, still hidden. Humanity did not know which empire had ordered the strike. They did not know which hand had pressed the trigger, and that mystery burned like acid in their minds, because to strike back they first needed truth. It was then that a young intelligence officer made a discovery. Her team cracked the alien transmissions fully. What they found was worse than they imagined. The strike had been debated, voted upon, and carried out by several alien powers. It was not one empire, it was many. They had united in fear of Earth's rise. They had chosen to remove Earth's leader before humanity grew too strong. The truth spread like wildfire. Humanity was not facing one enemy. Humanity was facing the galaxy itself. Fear might have broken another species, but not humanity. Instead, fury sharpened. If the galaxy thought killing a leader would weaken them, they were wrong. It had forged them into something greater. In the council halls far away, alien voices argued. Some shouted to prepare for war. Others begged to undo the strike. But one elder spoke above them all. His voice was dry and heavy. "It is too late. We have woken the wrath of mankind." And on Earth, in secret bases, fleets began to move. Silent engines roared to life. Old steel gleamed under new fire, and the stars themselves seemed to tremble. The hidden enemy believed they had struck in silence, but their silence had been broken. Their shadows had been seen. Humanity now knew the truth, and the truth would become fire. The call to arms, the truth was no longer hidden. The Council's lie had been shattered, and humanity now knew that several alien powers had joined hands to strike down Earth's leader. The galaxy thought it had silenced a man, but instead it had awakened a storm. On Earth, sorrow turned into steel. Entire cities gathered in silence, then roared together with one voice. Every screen, every radio, Every speaker carried the same message: we will not bow. The words echoed from the smallest villages to the tallest towers. Humanity had been wounded, but the wound had become fire. In the great halls of command, the generals stood before the world. Their faces were grave, but their voices were unshaken. One of them spoke: "We cannot wait for mercy. We cannot wait for justice from those who killed him. If we wish to survive, if we wish to honor our leader, we must rise, all of us, together." The people answered not with fear, but with fury. Young men and women lined outside recruitment centers. Old veterans dusted off their uniforms. Engineers returned to their factories with blazing eyes. Even farmers and merchants declared they would stand ready. Humanity was calling every hand, every heart, every mind. In the skies, warships began to awaken. Engines that had slept for decades roared again. Ships once displayed in museums were reforged with modern weapons. New fleets were drawn from secret blueprints, hidden projects now revealed to the world. Among them was a colossal ship whispered about in legend, the Iron Dawn, a warship built for a war humanity had hoped never to fight. Now it rose like a titan ready to burn the stars. But the true power was not in machines, it was in the unity of mankind. Nations that once argued over borders now shared their soldiers and resources. Old rivalries were forgotten. Every hand reached for the same goal. Every voice echoed the same vow. For Earth, for humanity. A young commander rose among them. He was not famous, not royal, not even born into power. But his courage and fire were unmatched. His speech reached across the world. They thought killing one man would break us. They thought striking our leader would silence us. But they were wrong. They have given us something far stronger. They have given us unity. They have given us wrath. Now we will show the galaxy who we are. His words lit a fire in the hearts of billions, from the smallest outposts on Mars to the deepest underwater bases on Earth. Humans stood taller. They no longer looked at the sky with fear. They looked with fury and purpose. Meanwhile, the galaxy watched with unease. Alien empires expected humans to collapse into chaos. But instead they saw an army rise from ashes. Fleets of ships filled with determination. Soldiers carrying not just weapons, but the weight of vengeance. They should be broken. An alien admiral whispered in disbelief. "Why are they stronger?" His advisor replied with dread. "Because you killed their hope and now all they have is fire." Secretly, some alien races began to question the Council's choice. They sent quiet messages to Earth. Warnings of enemy movements, offers of support. They were not allies, not yet, but they were afraid. Afraid of what humanity would become. On Earth, the call to arms was more than war. It was rebirth. Families placed pictures of the fallen leader in their homes. Soldiers carried his words in their pockets. Children drew his image in the dirt and whispered promises of vengeance. Humanity had lost one man but gained 1 billion voices in return. Factories burned through the night. Weapons rolled off the lines. Pilots trained in simulators until their hands bled. Scientists worked without rest, crafting weapons never before seen. Humanity was preparing for more than defense. They were preparing for justice written in fire across the stars. The Council's chambers grew restless. Reports poured in of humanity's unity, their speed, their rage. One elder leaned back in his chair and muttered, "We killed a leader, but we created an army." The galaxy has never faced this before. In the skies above Earth, the fleets began to move, formation after formation. Rows of ships stretching into the void. Their engines glowed like suns. Their hulls carried the scars of the past, but their hearts carried the fury of the present. And as the largest fleet in human history prepared to leave Earth's orbit, one message was sent to the galaxy. A message carved in fire across the stars. You killed one man, but you have awakened all of humanity. The call had been answered. The arms were ready. The galaxy would soon learn what it meant to face mankind's wrath. First blood. The fleets of Earth moved into the void, engines blazing like small suns from orbit. The planet below looked both proud and sorrowful. It had lost its leader, but gained a unity no enemy could imagine. Billions watched from the ground as the ships vanished into the darkness, their trails glowing like falling stars. Humanity had answered the call, but now came the test. The first target was chosen carefully. Not a great empire, not the heart of the Council, but a hidden outpost near the edge of human space. Intelligence confirmed that this was the staging ground where the weapon that killed Earth's leader had been prepared. The order was given. and the fleets moved in silence inside the flagship. The young commander stood before his officers. His eyes were calm, but his heart burned. "This is not conquest," he said, his voice steady. "This is justice. This is the price for what they have done. We strike not because we wish for war, but because they brought war to us." The fleet crossed into enemy space. Alarms on alien ships began to scream. Captains shouted in disbelief. They had expected humans to hide in sorrow, not march forward with fire in their eyes. "Impossible," one alien officer whispered. "They are too fast, too many, too united." The first shot was fired by the enemy, a beam of blue light that cut across the void. But the human fleet did not falter. Shields absorbed the blast, and a moment later, the flagship gave the command, "Return fire." Dozens of human ships lit up the dark, their cannons unleashing firepower no one expected. The outpost shook as explosions ripped across its surface. Alien defenses tried to respond, but the precision of the human fleet was unmatched. Every strike hit its mark, every move was coordinated. As if the entire fleet shared one mind on the ground, alien soldiers screamed as fire rained from above. Their weapons were crushed, their walls shattered for centuries. They had believed humans to be young, reckless, weak. Now they saw something different. Humanity was no longer just surviving. Humanity was avenging. The battle did not last long. Minutes after the first strike, the outpost was broken. Human marines stormed through the ruins. Their boots echoed across alien corridors, their banners lit by the flames of war. They captured data, seized weapons, and found the proof they needed. The outpost logs confirmed it. The assassination of Earth's leader had been planned here, ordered by alien powers who feared humanity's rise. When the evidence was transmitted back to Earth, the world roared, crowds filled the streets, chanting the same words, "Justice, justice for Earth." The image of the destroyed outpost was shown on every screen, a warning to the galaxy that humanity was not afraid to strike back. But the true impact was not on Earth, it was across the galaxy. News of the human victory spread faster than light. Alien worlds whispered in fear. Leaders stared at their advisors with pale faces. How, they asked, how did they strike so fast? So hard. Some tried to hide their panic, but others trembled openly, for they had expected weakness, but found fury in the council chamber. The debate turned to chaos. One empire shouted for immediate war. Another begged to open peace talks, but an elder silenced them all, his voice heavy and filled with dread. "The first blood has been spilled, and it is ours. The humans will not stop here. They will come for us all." Back on the human flagship, the young commander walked through the wreckage of the outpost. Soldiers saluted him as he passed. He paused at a broken alien banner, torn and burned. "They thought this would end us," he said softly. "But this is only the beginning." Above him, the stars seemed closer, brighter. They were no longer unreachable. They were the battlefield. Humanity had tasted victory. Humanity had spilled first blood, but victory came with weight. Families of soldiers stood in silence as the names of the fallen were read. Humanity had not escaped without loss, yet even in grief their resolve deepened. For each life taken, their wrath grew sharper. The galaxy now knew a truth it had tried to deny. Humanity was no longer a silent world at the edge of the stars. Humanity was a storm that could not be stopped. And as the fleet turned toward its next mission, the commander sent one message across the stars, a message no alien could ignore. "You drew first blood when you killed our leader. Now we return it, and we will not stop until justice is complete." The stars themselves seemed to shiver at the words. For this was not the end of the war, it was only its beginning. The rising storm, the galaxy trembled. News of humanity's first victory spread faster than light. From the smallest mining colony to the grand halls of alien empires, the same whispers filled the air. The humans struck back. Entire civilizations that once dismissed Earth now turned their eyes toward the blue planet. They had thought mankind too fragile, too divided, but they had seen the truth. Humanity was united. Humanity was burning with wrath on Earth. The victory did not bring comfort, it brought determination. Crowds filled the streets not with celebration, but with solemn resolve. They lit candles, carried flags, and raised their voices as one. "We rise, we fight, we endure." Factories ran day and night. Forges burned hot, and shipyards thundered with life. Humanity was not preparing for defense anymore. Humanity was preparing to carry the war into the stars in hidden hangars. Secret projects that had been whispered about for years were finally revealed. One such project was Leviathan, a warship larger than any humanity had ever built. Its hull black as night, its engines like small suns. It was designed for one purpose only: to strike fear into those who would dare challenge Earth. Engineers called it a monster, pilots called it hope, and soldiers called it vengeance forged in steel. The young commander who had led the first strike became the face of this rising storm. His speeches echoed across every world humanity touched. They took our leader. They thought we would kneel. Instead, we rise higher, stronger, fiercer than ever before. Let the galaxy hear this. Our wrath will not stop, not today, not tomorrow, not ever. Those words were carried not only to human ears but also to alien spies. In the council chamber, reports arrived daily of new human fleets, new weapons, new armies. Some leaders demanded immediate retaliation. Others demanded retreat. But one elder said what they all feared. We struck first, we spilled their blood, and now we cannot control what we have unleashed. Humanity will not forgive. Humanity will not forget. Alien civilians began to panic. Markets crashed, soldiers deserted, and whispers of rebellion spread. Some even sent secret messages to Earth begging for mercy, offering to share technology or betray the Council in exchange for survival. Humanity listened, but their anger was not so easily softened. On the front lines, human fleets moved like storms, striking small enemy outposts, crippling supply lines, leaving wreckage that glowed against the void. Each battle was swift, each strike precise, and each victory added fuel to the fire. Humanity was proving something the galaxy had never believed. Earth was not just surviving. Earth was conquering, yet for all their strength, humanity knew the greatest battles still lay ahead. The Council's core fleets had not yet moved. The true powers of the galaxy had not yet struck. It was only a matter of time before the storm would meet its greatest challenge. And humanity was ready in training camps. Soldiers marched through the night, repeating a single oath: for Earth, for humanity, for justice. Their voices shook the ground. In orbit, warships lined up in endless formations, their weapons glowing, their shields humming. The sight alone filled alien scouts with dread. Among the people, even children spoke of vengeance. Stories of the fallen leader were told at every dinner table. His image hung in every classroom, his final words replayed in every hall. Humanity had turned grief into a weapon sharper than any blade. The galaxy had expected a broken world. What it found was a storm without end. The hidden enemy that once mocked humanity now feared to even speak their name. An alien diplomat whispered to his ruler, "It is not mankind we fight, it is their wrath. And wrath does not die." But humanity was not only wrath. It was memory. It was unity. It was a promise carved in fire. They would not rest until justice was complete, until the Council paid for its crime, until the galaxy understood the price of betrayal. And so, as fleets gathered and weapons glowed, the storm rose higher. The stars seemed to flicker, as if warning the galaxy of what was to come. For when humanity moved again, it would not be with small strikes. It would be with fire so great the galaxy itself would shake. The storm was coming and nothing could stop it. Wrath of humanity. The storm had risen and now it broke. Human fleets poured into alien space like a flood of fire. Ships moved in perfect formation, their engines blazing like comets. The galaxy had never seen such force. Not from any empire, not from any alliance. The void echoed with the hum of humanity's vengeance. The first worlds to fall were border colonies, defended by alien garrisons that had once felt untouchable. They woke to the thunder of human guns. Cities shook as orbital strikes lit the skies. Alien soldiers fought desperately, but their weapons cracked under the relentless assault. Humanity did not strike with hesitation. Humanity struck with certainty. Every victory carried a message carved into ruins, broadcast through shattered comms. This is justice, this is humanity's answer. The Council tried to respond. Fleets of alien warships gathered, grand armadas that had ruled the stars for centuries. They moved to intercept the humans, confident their numbers would crush this upstart species. But when the two sides met in the black sea of space, the galaxy saw something it had never imagined. The humans did not falter. They did not scatter. They advanced like a single living creature. Cannons thundered, missiles screamed, railguns tore holes through alien hulls. The sky itself seemed to burn. Alien admirals shouted orders, but their fleets crumbled under the storm. Entire formations were ripped apart in minutes, ships torn open, crews lost to the void in the chaos. One alien general whispered in despair, "This is not war. This is vengeance." Human Marines stormed stations and fortresses. Their boots echoing on alien soil, they fought with eyes burning, every strike filled with the memory of their leader's death. Alien prisoners trembled as they looked into human faces and saw no mercy. They saw wrath given flesh, and still humanity pushed forward. One victory followed another. Outposts burned, fortresses fell. Alien empires begged for aid, but the council gave none. They were too busy arguing in their halls, blaming each other, fearing the storm they had unleashed. The galaxy was learning a truth too late. Humanity was not just another species. Humanity was a force. The death of their leader had not broken them. It had transformed them. Their grief had become steel. Their rage had become fire, and their unity had become unshakable. On Earth, the people watched the reports, not with fear but with pride. They saw their fleets carving paths through enemy space. They saw their soldiers raising Earth's flag on alien soil. Every victory was another step toward justice, another promise kept. Children whispered to each other, "We are winning. We are strong." And parents nodded with tears in their eyes. In the council chamber, panic spread. Some begged to surrender. Others demanded to destroy Earth before it grew too powerful. But none could agree. They had underestimated humanity, and now they could only watch as their fleets vanished one after another. The young commander stood on the bridge of his flagship. Surrounded by fire and stars, his voice cut through the storm. They thought our leader's death would end us. Instead, it gave us strength. They thought we would kneel. Instead, we rise. They thought we would forgive. Instead, we bring them wrath. Let the galaxy remember this day. Humanity does not fall. Humanity does not bow. Humanity strikes back. His words echoed across every channel, carried even into enemy signals. Alien civilians listening in secret wept in fear. Some whispered prayers, others cursed their rulers. But all knew the same truth. The humans could not be stopped. One by one, enemy worlds fell silent. Not because they were destroyed, but because they surrendered. Alien leaders bent their knees, swearing oaths of loyalty, not out of respect, but out of terror. For they knew humanity's wrath would not end until justice was complete. And still the storm grew. Human fleets pushed deeper. Closer to the Council's heart, the galaxy was no longer in balance. The galaxy was no longer ruled by the old empires. The galaxy now belonged to humanity's fire. The wrath of humanity had been unleashed, and there was no turning back. The final judgment, the galaxy had burned. Alien fleets shattered, empires trembling, worlds silenced under the roar of human fire. The wrath of humanity had spread like a storm without end. But every storm reaches its peak, and this one was ready to strike at the very heart of the enemy. The Council, once proud rulers of the stars, now hid in fear their chambers. Built from crystal and gold, echoed with desperate voices. "We must surrender," one shouted. "We must destroy them," cried another. But the truth was written on every face. They had already lost above their world. The largest human fleet in history appeared. Stretching across the horizon, Leviathan, the black warship born of vengeance, led the charge. Its engines thundered, its cannons glowed, and its presence alone cast a shadow over the Council's capital. Inside the chamber, the alien leaders watched the sky darken with human steel. They remembered the silent strike that had killed Earth's leader. They remembered their arrogance, and now they saw the price of that choice. The young human commander stood on his bridge, his eyes hard, his voice steady. "Today we end this war. Today the galaxy learns the meaning of our wrath. But we are not conquerors, we are not destroyers, we are humanity, and we demand justice." The fleet moved. Ships surrounded the Council world like a ring of fire. Alien defenses powered up, but no one fired. For even the defenders knew resistance was hopeless. Humanity had proven unstoppable. Unstoppable in unity, unstoppable in fury, unstoppable in purpose. Human Marines descended into the shining city, boots striking marble floors, banners unfurled, weapons aimed but not fired. The Council guards dropped their arms. Some fell to their knees, trembling, for they knew what awaited them. The commander walked into the grand chamber. Every alien leader stared at him in silence. Some defiant, others broken. His voice carried across the hall. "You thought killing one man would end us, instead you awakened us. You thought we would kneel, instead we rose. You thought we would forgive, instead we brought fire today. You face the judgment of humanity." He placed the evidence of their crime on the central table. Data, recordings, votes, all proving their hand in the assassination. You murdered our leader out of fear, and that fear has become truth. Humanity is not weak. Humanity is not broken. Humanity is eternal. The chamber shook with his words. Some alien rulers wept, others looked away, but none could deny the truth. Humanity had risen from sorrow into wrath, and wrath had carried them here. The commander raised his hand. Every human soldier tightened their grip on their weapons, but instead of ordering fire, he spoke one final sentence. We are not like you. We will not kill in silence. We will not murder in fear. We give you one chance. One chance to live under the shadow of your crime. One chance to bow and never again raise your hand against Earth. Silence filled the chamber. Then slowly, one by one, the alien rulers bent their heads. Some in shame, some in terror, but all in submission. The galaxy had witnessed the final judgment. Humanity had not only won the war. Humanity had claimed respect written in fire and blood. Outside, the fleets roared in victory, but there was no celebration. Humanity had lost too much. Their leader was gone. Their soldiers lay buried among the stars. But their wrath had forged a new place in the galaxy. No longer ignored, no longer underestimated, humanity stood as a force no empire would dare challenge again. On Earth, the monument to their fallen leader glowed with light. Crowds gathered and whispered his name. Children looked at the stars and saw not fear but pride. They knew the story would be told forever. The day humanity rose as one. The day the galaxy trembled. The day wrath became justice. The commander stood once more at the balcony of his flagship. His voice carried across every human world. We have endured, we have risen, we have avenged. And let the galaxy never forget, we are humanity, and we will never fall. The stars themselves seemed to shine brighter, as if remembering, for this was not just the end of a war. It was the beginning of a new era, an era where humanity stood unbroken, united, eternal. The final judgment had been delivered, and the galaxy would never forget it.